what in the world is going on in our businesses that we're all copying terrible sales tactics that immediately put the guard up? It all started 2000 some odd years ago. This guy named Aristotle wrote the book called Rhetoric. And I have been a student of classical rhetoric for years and years. I've been a high school speech and debate coach for about 19 years. And if you ask me what I really want to do, that's all I really want to do. There's no money in it, so I do other things. And every other part of my life has been basically an expression of or application of high school speech and debate, which can happen in two ways. Right there, you probably don't trust me because I get a lot of this whole talk me out of abortion, talk me out of XYZ, pretend I'm a libertarian, whatever you want to talk about. And like, that's not it, because there's two kinds of force in this world. And that's where I learned a lot about trust. One kind is to beat down and dominate through communication. It requires you to wire your brain such that humans are objects or means to an end. There is another approach. And that approach is the rare approach in communication, but it puts listening first, and it puts empathy first, and it puts value first, so that you treat others as ends of themselves as opposed to means. And so there's this repositioning that happens where the debater, the communicator, the salesperson, the executive goes from being Luke Skywalker as they have these skills to no. They're Yoda. The audience, the other person, is Luke Skywalker. And there's a whole treasure trove of classical rhetoric skills that have been developed over 2000-ish years that have collided with brain science and behavioral design in the more modern era, and also collided with well-being research. And they all say the same thing. And so I've partnered for the last about 6 years with my mentor, Stephen Tomlinson, here in Austin, Texas, who has pioneered bringing those tactics and techniques into the executive boardroom and into sales teams. And we train them in the same skill sets used in therapy, improv, and a wide variety of effective means of communication, all built on trust. I feel like I'm more of like a synthesizer of these things than as much a generator of them. And the more I learn, the more like, oh my gosh, this research already existed. Oh, this knowledge is already here. What in the world is going on in our businesses that we're all a bunch of broken copy machines copying terrible sales tactics that immediately put the guard up?
So I want to roll this back, right? Because I look at our previous president, whether you like him, you don't like him, Republican, Democrat, put all of those things aside. I think the approach that he had, which was very much not listening, plowing forward, having his own agenda, I think that was very much the last generation of leaders. And the things that you're talking about, man, coincide with really the last 10 years that I have seen, but a kinder, gentler, more purpose-oriented, more purpose-driven environment where you have to lead.